Hello class. In this video, I'm going to go over the Word Module 1 Project 1A. You'll notice that you'll have an assignment overview, and you do have 3 times to submit the assignment. So after you submit the assignment the first time, if you do see any errors, you're free to fix them and resubmit it for a higher grade. So let's begin by clicking on the Start button. And you're going to need to open up the instruction file. And you'll just wait a little while for it to load. And once it loads up, you can click on the Enable Editing button. And then what you're going to want to do is to print this. Once you have the instruction file printed, you can go ahead and close it. And then you're going to want to open up the Start file. And this is what your Start file should look like. And I'm going to begin by clicking on the Enable Editing button. And if you take a look at your instruction sheet, the first thing that you need to do in the Getting Started section is to save the file as your first name, last name with the _2. And you'll actually notice that the file name does appear here at the top. So all you'll need to do is to change the 1 to a 2. To do that, you'll go to your File tab. Click on Save As. Find a place that you'll remember where you're saving this to. So I am going to save this to my desktop, and I am going to create a folder and save it there. And that way I'll always remember where my files will be saved. I'm changing the file name to have a 2, and then I'm going to click on my Save button. Okay, now we can go on to the project steps. Number 1 in the project steps say that as a member of the Human Resources Department at Crest Insurance Company, you are creating a flyer to promote the company's health and wellness classes. We're going to start by changing the orientation of the page to portrait so that the page is longer than it is wide. To do that, I'm going to go to my Layout tab, and in my Page Setup group, I'm going to click on Orientation, and then I'm going to click on Portrait. Number 2 says to change the document margins to narrow. While still on your Layout tab, and in your Page Setup group, you'll click on your Margins button, and then select Narrow. These will change your top, bottom, left, and right margins to 1/2 inch. Number 3 then says to format the heading paragraph, Health and Wellness at Crest Insurance, to make it stand out. So let's start by selecting our heading. And it says to apply the text effect Fill Black Text Color 1 Shadow. To do that, you're going to go to your Home tab, and in your Font group, you'll click on your Text Effects button. Okay, here it says again, Fill Black Text Color 1 Shadow, which is in the first column, first row, in the Text Effects and Typography gallery. So I'm just going to click on that again, and you'll notice that if I hover my mouse over any of these selected text effects, there's a little box that tells us the name of that specific text effect. And so the first one does say Fill Black Text Color 1 Shadow. Next, it says to shade the heading using the Aqua Accent 4 Lighter 60%, which is in the 8th column, 3rd row in the Theme Colors palette for the shading color. To change this shading, the first thing I'm going to do is to make sure that I have my text selected. And then in my paragraph group, I'm going to click the down arrow next to my shading button. And it's going to be the 8th column, 3rd row. And if I hover my mouse over it, it should say Aqua Accent 4 Lighter 60%. On number 4 in your project steps, it tells us that in the paragraph beginning Crest Insurance offers, delete the unnecessary sentence. All you need to do is sign up for one or more classes that interest you. So beginning with all you need to the end of that sentence, I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to hit my delete key or your backspace key, and I'm also going to delete this extra space following the period. We then need to apply the simple frame black picture style to the picture of healthy foods so it coordinates with the title of the flyer. So I'm going to select the picture. Once you have it selected, your Picture Tools Format tab should appear in your ribbon. And in your Picture Styles group, you're going to click on your More button. And then we need to look for the simple black frame. Okay, and again, use your mouse to hover over each of them so that you can see the names of each. So here's our simple frame black, and you'll notice that it has applied a black border to our picture. Next, it says to call attention to the heading paragraph, 5 steps to a heart-healthy diet. We're going to format it as follows. Before we format it, make sure you select 5 steps to a heart-healthy diet. You're then going to left align that in your paragraph group. We're changing the font to Corbel. Make sure you select the headings one and not the body. We then need to change the font size to 16, the font color to Aqua Accent 4, and then we're going to use the Format Painter to apply the same formatting to the paragraphs Nutrition for Peak Performance and Fitness Challenge to maintain consistency throughout our document. So with 5 steps to a heart-healthy diet selected, you're going to double-click on the Format Painter button. You're then going to select Nutrition for Peak Performance, and then you're going to scroll down and then select Fitness Challenge. Once you have those two formatted correctly, you'll then click once on the Format Painter button to turn it off. Next, on number 8, we're instructed to bold the text Tuesdays at noon. And then I'm going to select it, go to my font group, and then bold. Number 9 then says to format the paragraphs describing the 5 steps to a heart-healthy diet class as follows to match the formatting of the other class descriptions. The first thing we're going to do is to apply bullets to the 3 paragraphs beginning Improve Your Heart and ending with Weekly Grocery Lists. So with these 3 lines selected, I'll then go to my paragraph group and then I will click on my bullets button. Next, we need to increase the indent of the second and third bulleted paragraphs. Take 5 easy to follow and weekly grocery lists. So I'm going to click in front of the word take, and then I'm going to click on my increase indent button. And then I will click in front of the word plan. And then I'm going to click on my increase indent button as well. Next, it says at the end of the paragraph, for more information on upcoming classes, contact. So I'm going to click after the space following the word contact. And I'm going to type in wellness@crest.cengage.com and press spacebar, and that will convert my text to a website, or a hyperlink in this case. Next, it says to separate the top and bottom parts of the flyer as follows by adding a top border to the paragraph for more information. So with my cursor in this last sentence, I'll go up to my paragraph group, and then I'm going to click the down arrow next to my borders button. I'll then go to my borders button. Okay, make sure that the setting is none. You have the straight line as your style, and then for the color, we're changing that to Aqua Accent 4. And to apply a top border, you can either click once at the top here, or you can click once on this button here. Once you see that top blue border, you can then click OK, and then you'll notice you've just applied that blue or aqua border to this paragraph. Number 12 then says to change the height of the weights and athletic shoes picture to 1 inch to balance the page. So now let's scroll down to the second page, and here is the picture of the weights and shoes. So let's select it, and that will open up your Picture Tools Format tab. To change the height, you'll go to your size group, and we're changing the 2.5 to a 1 and hit your Enter key. Number 13 then says to remove the hyperlink from the text Crest Health and Wellness Programs below the picture to format it as regular text. So I'm going to right-click over that text. I'll then click on Remove Hyperlink, and that will remove the hyperlink from this text. Number 14 then says to italicize the text, cell number 301-555-1932. So I'm going to select the phone number, and in my font group, I will use my italicize button. And lastly, it says to delete the last paragraph in the document, including the picture of the Crest logo, to make sure that the flyer content fits on one page. So I'm going to click once on this Crest logo, press my delete key, and then I'm going to turn on my paragraph formatting marks. So in my paragraph group, I'm going to click on my Show Hide Paragraph Marks button. And here is our extra paragraph that we need to delete. So I'm going to click my backspace button, turn off my paragraph mark Show Hide, and now everything fits nicely on one page. You can verify your finalized document with your instruction sheet. And the final figure shows you an image of what it should look like. If you think it does look correct, you'll do a file and a regular save. You'll then go back to your Cengage window. You can click on Continue. We're now going to upload the file. Remember where you had saved your file to, and then submit for grading. It may take a few seconds. And I'm going to close this.